Space exploration has always been an expensive endeavor. From the early days of NASA to the ambitious missions of the Soviet Union, the cost of reaching the stars has been astronomical. For decades, rockets were single-use only. Each launch required a brand new rocket, which was discarded after a single mission. This significantly increased the cost of each launch, making space exploration a financial burden. The expense was a major barrier to more frequent and ambitious missions. Enter SpaceX, founded by visionary entrepreneur Elon Musk. SpaceX has been a disruptive force in the aerospace industry, challenging the status quo and pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Their mission is clear and ambitious: to make space travel more affordable and accessible to humanity. They envision a future where space is within reach for more than just government agencies and the ultra-wealthy. A cornerstone of this goal is reusability. By reusing rocket components, SpaceX aims to drastically cut down the costs associated with space travel. SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket is a prime example of this principle in action. The Falcon 9 is designed to be reusable, with its first stage capable of returning to Earth after launch. The rocket's first stage, the largest and most expensive part, returns to Earth after launch. This innovative approach allows SpaceX to refurbish and reuse the rocket, significantly reducing costs. It lands upright, ready for refurbishment and reuse. This process has been refined over multiple missions, proving the viability and efficiency of reusable rockets. This groundbreaking achievement has drastically reduced the cost of sending payloads into orbit. Lower costs mean more opportunities for scientific research, commercial ventures, and even space tourism. However, SpaceX didn't stop there. They continue to innovate and push the boundaries of aerospace technology. They set their sights on another expensive component, the rocket's fairings. By recovering and reusing these parts, SpaceX further reduces the cost of each mission, bringing us closer to a new era of affordable space travel. While the Falcon 9's booster recovery captivated the world, SpaceX was simultaneously tackling another engineering challenge: recovering the rocket's fairings. Fairings are crucial components, protecting the payload during ascent through the atmosphere. Traditionally, these aerodynamic shells were discarded after launch, left to splash down in the ocean. Recovering these fairings presented a unique set of challenges. They travel at high speeds and are subjected to intense aerodynamic forces. SpaceX engineers had to devise innovative solutions to retrieve these delicate structures intact. The quest for fairing recovery exemplified SpaceX's commitment to pushing the boundaries of space technology and maximizing resource utilization. Fairings serve a vital purpose in rocket launches. They are the unsung heroes of space missions, often overlooked but absolutely essential. They encapsulate the payload, shielding it from the intense forces and heat experienced during ascent. Without fairings, the payload would be exposed to the harsh environment of space travel, risking damage or complete failure. Imagine a bullet speeding through the air. The comparison helps us understand the incredible speeds and forces at play. The air creates friction, generating heat. This is similar to what happens to a rocket as it ascends through the atmosphere. Now imagine that bullet traveling at multiple times the speed of sound. The heat and friction increase exponentially. This is the environment a rocket and its payload experience. The fairing must protect the payload until it reaches the vacuum of space. Fairings are designed to withstand these extreme conditions. Engineers use advanced materials and rigorous testing to ensure they perform flawlessly. However, their journey was traditionally a one-way trip. Once their job was done, they were discarded. They detached from the rocket after it left the atmosphere and plummeted back to Earth. This process was seen as a necessary sacrifice for the success of the mission. These expensive components, often costing millions of dollars, ended up as debris in the ocean. This not only represented a significant financial loss, but also contributed to environmental pollution. The industry is now exploring ways to recover and reuse these valuable parts, aiming for more sustainable and cost-effective space missions. Section 4. Catching a falling star: early attempts and challenges. Recovering fairings after a high-altitude, high-velocity journey is no easy feat. SpaceX's initial attempts involved large nets towed by boats. These nets were positioned in the projected splashdown zone of the fairings. While this method showed promise, it had limitations. The fairings, despite deploying parachutes to slow their descent, still impacted the nets at high speeds. This often resulted in damage, rendering them unusable. The unpredictable nature of the ocean, with its currents and winds, further complicated recovery efforts. Section 5. From nets to drone ships: refining recovery. Undeterred by the challenges, SpaceX continued to innovate. They shifted their approach to ocean landing and retrieval. This involved outfitting the fairings with onboard guidance systems and parafoils. These systems steered the fairings toward a designated landing zone in the ocean. Waiting in this zone was a recovery vessel, equipped with a large net platform. The parafoils, acting like giant kites, slowed the fairings' descent, allowing them to gently land on the net. This method significantly increased the chances of recovering the fairings intact. Section 6, Splashdown, a new era of fairing recovery. The shift to ocean landing marked a significant turning point in SpaceX's fairing recovery efforts. This method proved to be far more successful than previous attempts. The gentle touchdowns on the recovery vessel's net minimized damage. SpaceX has achieved a remarkable success rate in recovering fairings using this method. The ability to retrieve, refurbish, and reuse these components has resulted in substantial cost savings for SpaceX and its customers. Section 7. The Starship Connection, a stepping stone to Mars. SpaceX's vision for the future is not just about reaching Mars, it's about creating a sustainable presence there. This vision is embodied in their Starship program, which aims to revolutionize space travel and make interplanetary colonization a reality. SpaceX's pursuit of fairing recovery extends beyond immediate financial gains. By perfecting the technology to recover and reuse rocket components, SpaceX is paving the way for more cost-effective and reliable space missions. This is a critical step in reducing the overall cost of space travel, making it more accessible and sustainable in the long run. It aligns with their long-term vision of interplanetary travel, particularly their ambitious plans for Mars colonization using Starship. Elon Musk has often spoken about the importance of making life multiplanetary, and the Starship is the cornerstone of this grand vision. The ability to send large payloads and numerous passengers to Mars is a game-changer. Starship, designed to be fully reusable, represents a giant leap forward in space transportation. Unlike traditional rockets that are discarded after a single use, Starship can be launched, landed, and relaunched multiple times. This reusability drastically reduces the cost per launch and increases the frequency of missions, making space travel more routine and less of a monumental event. The lessons learned from recovering Falcon 9 fairings are directly applicable to Starship. Each successful recovery and reuse of a Falcon 9 fairing brings SpaceX one step closer to perfecting the technology needed for Starship. These experiences provide invaluable data and insights that inform the design and operation of the Starship program. The ability to retrieve and reuse large, complex components will be crucial for sustainable operations on Mars. On Mars, resources will be limited, and the ability to reuse materials and components will be essential for the long-term survival and growth of a human colony. This capability will reduce the need for constant resupply missions from Earth, making the Mars colony more self-sufficient. Fairing recovery is not just about saving money. It's about mastering the technologies needed to make humanity a multiplanetary species. By developing and refining these technologies, SpaceX is laying the groundwork for a future where humans can live and thrive on multiple planets. This is the ultimate goal of SpaceX's mission, and the driving force behind their relentless pursuit of innovation and excellence in space travel.